and 9. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back to time, Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. From 7 to 9. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9. It's Tingle and Co.
All right, great morning. Really good morning this morning. Good morning to all of you for getting in here.
Man's gone.
As it is a beautiful day.
Everybody come with me. Follow me. Come with us.
It was a little bit easier to wake up this morning, huh, Lloyd?
Yes. I haven't slept like that in years. Like the war was over. The newspaper was at my front door and I read it.
Beautiful, BD. This is the day the Lord has made. Rejoice and be glad in it.
Yes.
Amen.
Even I prayed for this day.
It is it's the day we've all been waiting for. You all anticipated at some point
A new era?
This change was going to be made. He was not going to ever finish out 10 years as the LSU head football coach. Instead, he makes it 3.5.
Thank you, Father Todd.
And Brian Kelly has been fired as the LSU head football coach yesterday. It was announced, around 7:30 p.m. The announcement was made, and LSU has moved on from Brian Kelly, and it is a new era of LSU football. We are going to continue the discussion there this morning, talk about all of that, what we expect to happen after, the reasons why this has happened, some of the reaction last night, people videoing out there, people coming in and out of the facility. He talked to the team for maybe 6 minutes?
I think
8 minutes?
He bested his previous fastest time with Notre Dame.
What was that, 15 seconds?
Right. And so he gave us, speaking of,
there you go.
He gave us, whipped in, whipped out.
Yeah.
And he parked like an asshole.
He did. He
parked in the handicap spot, of course.
Up on the line.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. And speaking of Dad showing up for a second, shout out Jordy. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see
Milk
you.
and cigarettes. I guess
JC.
you're back.
JC in the chat. Shout out to Jay. But yeah, no, we've got some clips from the
Hey,
people
Dad.
that were out there standing outside the facility. Panda Watch.
Yeah, still there.
Yeah, still there. They got video of BK leaving this morning around 5 a.m. And I think that might be the earliest ever at the facility, Lloyd.
No
BK
doubt.
out at 5 a.m. this morning.
Oh, y'all are open right now?
I didn't know we still did this. We'll get into all of that, of course, and we will take your phone calls for hour number 2 this morning. So at 8 a.m. this morning, we will open the phone line up and take all of your calls, all of your reaction, all of your thoughts, as it is officially a new era of LSU football.
It's Tingle and Co. From 7 to 9. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go.
Let's go!
The vibe
Just hit him.
the vibes are the receipts. Yeah, the receipts just hit.
Thank you, buddy.
The receipts just hit. Lloyd, I'll open up to you because obviously
Straight cash, homie.
I have tried and I'm not going to deny it, over the last 3 years and throughout this season to try and cut BK slack, even when he doesn't deserve it or doesn't need it, because he's the head man at LSU. If you can win in spite of him, you can win in spite of him, and you couldn't. Lloyd, you have been very vocal and outgoing about your opinions on one Brian Kelly. And so I want to open the floor to you, my friend, your reaction to this news and the way it all played out over the last 48 hours with a loss to A&M into the announcement last night.
Yes, this all started, are we in year 4? We were in year 4 as it is. I mean, he's here. I remember producing the show in which he got hired. I was in bed. And then, of course, news comes across the wire. It's like, should we do a show? Absolutely. And we all thought, there was far-reaching. Who could it be? Is it Lane Kiffin? Is it our boy Billy?
Right.
Then is it
Lincoln Riley?
Lincoln Riley? And it's like, it feels like everybody's running with Lincoln Riley. Then it comes down to Billy I mean, it's Brian Kelly, and then you go, my initial reaction was this is never going to work. Like, there's not a single person on the planet that likes him. He's coming to the most maybe likable university, and then Jordy was there to talk me off the ledge, but I was like, this is not going to work. Like, there's just not a world in which he can make it work at LSU. But he's like, no, you need an adult in the room. And I was like, I can see that. I can see why the hire was made, and I trust Scott Woodward to be able to make the right hire. Right. But I was like, this, in my gut, I couldn't feel it working here. And then he does, from day one, it was right in front of you who that man was, what he was coming here to do. And I can see, if you put it on paper, if you're Woodward, you go, okay, I have to pay him this X amount of money to be able to get him here. And if he has any nuts about himself, or he cares one fucking iota about himself, which he does, he has one thing left to do. I can't climb the mountain at Notre Dame, but I can climb the mountain at LSU because I need better players. And to his credit, year one, that's how it works. That's how grifters work. You work for 1 year and you ride it out for the rest after you say, look what I can do. Look at how I can do it. And then he got people on his side. There was. SEC championship appearance year one. Whoa. With that roster, 35 players. You have them in the booth. And then it's only started going. You start whittle away and looking at, what do you actually do here? Right. And it became, oh, it's not me, it's the defense. Oh, it's not me, it's special teams. Oh, let me fire this guy. Let me move this guy over here. At some point, there's only so many squares on a chessboard, and you backed him into a corner, and it's finally knock the piece over, checkmate. See ya, buddy. Yeah. Because this is a long time coming. It was never going to work here. It never did. And I'm just happy to see that LSU had the unmitigated gall and the nuts to stand up for what LSU actually is, what this university means. And to have that scene on Saturday night, as bad as it was, thank you, Texas A&M. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was the wake-up call that was necessary because damage had been done to the LSU football program. It had become something under Brian Kelly that it's never been before. It was a place where Death Valley, you could come in and your fan base, your students could take over the LSU football student section, and the loudest the stadium can get is when the Texas A&M team is going over to their side of the field and hyping their fans up. They walked in, they dominated on a Saturday night in Death Valley on the field and in the stadium. You travel to Nashville and you get pushed around and punched in the mouth by Vanderbilt. And then Vandy goes and puts a sign in front of the media room that says, what? Be prepared, warning, caution, loud screams, banging on tables, this, that.
You became a laughing stock.
You became a laughing stock, something LSU has never been, even with coaches that were cartoon characters. If LSU was ever going to be a laughing stock, you'd think it'd be with the guy that you needed subtitles to understand, or the coach that ate grass. But no, they could still get teams that were physical and would go punch somebody in the mouth. Lamine Barrow said it yesterday. LSU is either going to beat you or beat you up, was the mindset they had. And that's not what LSU was under Brian Kelly. It was 1,000% the move that had to be made, because had it continued on, only more and more damage could be done to the LSU football brand. And credit to the powers that be, all the people in the room, because there's a lot of people in the room, whether it's boosters, whether it's the governor, the AD, the board of supervisors, the powers that be to make the move because it had to happen. And it moved quick. The conversation Saturday night after the game was still that changes are going to be made, but I don't know if it'll be that one. Then yesterday morning it gets to, well, they're going to see if they can put together the money, but it'll still be other changes that'll come. And then throughout the day, it just like that. No, this is what has to happen. And it happened. Brian Kelly is out as the LSU football head coach. And when I look at this tenure as a whole, right, the 3.5 years that it's been, look, with Lloyd, I was moved to the side when he first got here of, you know what, this actually does make sense. You needed somebody buttoned up that could build the program back And in his credit, he did that for a year. He got LSU back to a competitive 10-win football program after what it had fallen to under O. In year number 1, you hit on some portal guys. You have Mike Denbrock as your OC. You're able to beat Alabama in Death Valley in what is one of my favorite games ever and make it an SEC championship appearance.
And that was your high water mark.
And that was the high point. That was the peak of the tenure, because the next year, and because after that, I was like, you know what? Come on. It can only go up from here. Nope. It went down from there. You then squander one of the greatest Heisman quarterback seasons and offensive seasons ever because you had to hire your guys. And then that rolls into the next season where you just don't have the roster to really even compete, into this year where you spend $18 million and exhaust all options. Can talent win in spite of Brian Kelly? And it can't. And the move had to be made. You could not allow the damage to the LSU brand to continue, because that's the point you were at, where the LSU brand, the LSU football brand itself, was being damaged. You know the reason I know that for a fact is because guys that put the uniform on and laid it out on the football field were the ones saying it. We had Jeremy Lawrence and Rohan Davey on yesterday. If you didn't see that, go back and watch it. Look at the look in their eyes when they're talking about Brian Kelly and his tenure at LSU. They are disgusted and embarrassed by what the program had become.
And it's not just them.
No, it's Braden Fajoko, it's Leonard Fournette, it's Brandon. Go down the list of the players that played for LSU that were on social media talking about
Malik.
what this program had become. And one of the things that tells you more than anything is the reaction that some of the the players have had on social media after the fact.
That played for him.
Malik Neighbors posted the same video I put out that Braden Swinson posted after Matt House was fired, telling him to kick rocks.
Bitch.
Trey Holly makes a comment on Twitter about karma. Like it was time for this man to go. And to Lloyd's point, it was never going to work. And we should have recognized it the second that man got here and disrespected LSU from the jump. When you think that you're bigger than the program and you can bring in Brian Polian and Matt House and you can kick Corey Raymond and Blake Baker and Alston Thomas and these guys to the curb. Tommy Moffitt, maybe one of the bigger examples of it because of what you saw on Saturday night. Just kick these guys to the curb, guys that built LSU and have been a part of LSU. And then guess what you had to do 2 years later?
Go back and get him.
Go back and get them. You had to bring Blake Baker and Corey Raymond and Alston Thomas back. And that's what shows you right there that no one is bigger than LSU football. He thought when he saw this job, he came here with the mindset of, what can LSU do for me, Brian Kelly? How can Brian Kelly use LSU to his advantage? That it was going to be a cakewalk. That if he showed up here with the same status quo of what he had at Notre Dame, his 35 years of coaching experience that you hear ad nauseum about would be able to win him a national championship because he can get better players.
I haven't gotten all my wins yet. When you go back and watch that introduction of him at the PMAC, and you just hear it how deeply coded he was for, I guess, at what planet do you have the idea of, I'm going to throw on a Southern accent, talk to these people as if they're beneath me, and have some sort of rah-rah speech about me? And it never once felt like he was talking about the university. And Michael Koppel talked about, and if anybody is having more, we're doing a do-si-do two-step on the grave today, me and Koppel, and deservedly so, because that's where it started to spiral. There's so many like watermark moments or watershed moments of where this is not going to work. And from day one, he belittled you, looked at you as lesser than, came in and thought, this is just a means to an end for me. I'll be able to get a national championship, get the fuck out of here.
Thought he was bigger than the program.
Thought he was big, and there's no worse. There's not a more fireable offense in my mind than to come into Louisiana. Not even the program, bigger than the state, bigger than the people, bigger than everybody before you that built it. And you came in here and tried to tear it down, and you almost did in 4 years. Something that took 127 years to build. You come in here and you're like, let me knock this cobble out. Let me knock this out. And you started to tear down the infrastructure of the Coliseum. While people all around you are having success, you get excuse after excuse. Jay Johnson, 2 national championships. Kim Mulkey, national championship. Gymnastics, national championship. Track and field continues to win. You're the only one, brother. At some point, it ain't Brian Polian. At some point, it isn't whoever else is on your staff. It's not Matt House.
Right.
Whenever you start to look around and you start replacing, it's not the players. You start to look around and you see, damn, fix that for you. Scott Woodbridge fixed that for you. Brought Austin Thomas back for you. Hey, you should probably hire Frank Wilson, let him recruit New Orleans. Fix that for you. Hey, you need your $100 million man? Why don't you prove it? Can't do it, so I'll cover up every mistake that, yeah, sure. At some point it is on Scott. You misevaluated it because you thought he would care. He doesn't, and didn't, and never did. And even at the end, whenever it came down to, hey, I need better players, we even did that for you. And then now look at you now. Can't even get to fucking November. Good. See ya. Learn how to park. It's just an absolute failure on every front, and I'm jealous. I know bullshit because I spew it. And whenever I see it, I know it.
Not right now, though.
No, but this is what happens when you get caught.
Right.
You keep stealing, at some point the handcuffs are coming. And that's exactly what happened. He was backed into a corner. Who you going to squeal on? Nobody. Because you already did it. You cut everybody out from your corner.
Well, it's not even
You're
that
the only one left.
It's not even that he made bad decisions. I know you're going to agree with this, but it's because he cussed out Cobble. He slammed his fist on the table. Then
It was all a
8-4.
show.
Right.
It was all like, and then the show he put on at practice this year with yelling at the players because that we criticized him for not being at practice last year. So he's at practice this year and he's yelling at all the players. He's yelling at coaches, and he gets burned for it. And he deserved every bit of this.
Nope. The only cool thing he ever did was eat a cheese it off the ground. That was the most human moment of him, and it was to embarrass somebody else. Like, he's a bully. And now, when you're a bully, sometimes the bully gets bullied. He got rocked. And you'll never coach again. Nobody will hire you. You are done in this profession. All of your wins, you'll never be remembered for anything. Except for the fact that you got your fucking job taken from you at LSU when you should be a national champion. You had a Heisman-winning quarterback. You had everything you've ever needed, and you still couldn't do it. You're a fucking loser.
It was 1,000% the move that had to be made.
Thank God.
Had to be made.
And thank you, A&M.
Yeah, no,
The worst win you could ever have.
It was a wake-up call, and that a move that needed to be made. The conversation started to happen after the fact, and we were all pretty sure changes were going to come. And the reason why this change had to come was it saves the buyouts on the assistant is one of the bigger reasons. If you fire Brian Kelly first, that's the only buyout that you have to pay. The assistants that are let go after the fact, you don't have to cover those buyouts because they were brought in under Brian Kelly, so they're a part of his staff. And so the move needed to be made in this order. The head man had to go, which all in all, in turn, was what needed to happen because that man was the problem. Every other option was exhausted. Oh, it's the defensive staff. Here's a whole new one. It seemed like every piece of the puzzle was put together besides one. And he was close to almost finding a way to stick around. But the firing of Brian Kelly was first because it saved the buyouts on the other assistants. And so with that, you almost save money on this front by getting rid of the $50 million man first.
LSU would have paid, and the funny thing is, once people have come to realize that it's $50 million, it all became, it's too much money, it's too much money, it's too much money. This is what happens when you poke the bear. And I've said it continuously, and I'll say it again. You piss LSU enough, you piss LSU off enough, you piss Louisiana off enough, They'll find the money.
It
You
was-
can't insult. You can't. That finally, the thing that he never understood is the thing that bit him in the ass. These people don't play with this shit.
No,
and he did. He treated it as a hobby.
Right. LSU football, and I'll tell you what it isn't, is a hobby for the state of Louisiana. LSU football is the state of Louisiana. The governor of the state is in the meeting room with the head coach,
That's why they were able to pile the money together.
making the decision. Right.
Yeah, I mean,
It was a move that was made by the state of Louisiana. That's how important this job is, and that shows you the outright disrespect that Brian Kelly had for the state and for the school. And Brian Kelly, the $50 million man, they're negotiating that buyout. It's not going to be no $50 million. He's not going to walk off with $50 million. When you hear the reports of negotiating the buyout, that's because LSU won't drop that number. Helps make the move a whole lot simpler when you're able to drop that number from $50 million. Brian Kelly is out as the head football coach,
and somehow he was the most surprised man in the room.
That is how cocky that man is. That he thinks still. I guarantee you, he's still on some sort of high horse.
Double
probably
down.
pushing back, saying, no. Y'all aren't dropping my buyout. I deserve my 50. Because that's how cocky this man is. He came in here the first time he talked to the LSU fans, all my wins on the microphone, like Lloyd said. All my wins.
I haven't got all my wins
I haven't
yet.
won all my games yet. Brian, this isn't about you. And you just found out 3.5 years into your tenure when you said, like Lloyd said, there's so many watermarks going down, but really just
Judge me on year 3.
From the judge me on year 3 to the I'm keeping receipts to the this is the best
You're
roster
spoiled.
I've ever had to you're spoiled to now goodbye. It's over. It's done. And I tell you what, I really liked the points that Josh Pate made when he was doing his show last night. Brian Kelly 1,000% disrespected this job, disrespected LSU, disrespected the state of Louisiana, and disrespected each and every person that bought a ticket, that turned the game on, or just lives here. Because he never once put in the effort to win at LSU. And that shows you how good of a gig this is, that you can still go 10-3 and 9-4 with a coach that doesn't care and isn't trying. That's going out and getting his mail at noon on a game day, not in the facility. That's out on the beach and golfing during recruiting season and transfer port. A coach that's completely and entirely checked out. LSU still made an SEC championship game, had a Heisman-winning quarterback, and won 9 games last year.
Doesn't deserve credit for anything.
It's all in spite of that man.
And that's the other part of this. Look, I understand when it's happening and the season's on and you want to be able to support your guy, but when he's not your guy, when he's not the right man for the job, you have to be able to call it out. And we tried to show you the tea leaves of what was happening, and we got laughed at or told, you don't know what's going on. These reports are reports because they're true. He wasn't around the facility. He's checking his mail at 1 o'clock on a game day. Like, this man had no interest in winning for LSU or for even at this point for himself. He was trying to get bought out. He didn't. It was never a fit. It was never going to work. And Josh Pate just said what we've been saying for 4 years. It's an insult to the state, to the people, to the brand, to the colors, to the people that played, to the players before you, and the players that were under you. And at some point, you just have to realize that, like, it can't be this many things and it be untrue.
Well, and
from week 1.
You want to know how much disrespect it was to the state? Guess where that meeting was yesterday, where all this went down? It was at the governor's mansion. That shows you, it's literally the state of Louisiana saying, no, this is done. The state of Louisiana could not bear to have this man in charge for another minute.
What's the saying? Keep
politics out of sports.
Not in Louisiana. That does not.
That's
That just shows you
never
how
been
much
the case here.
How much
Yeah.
it means to the state of Louisiana to get this man out of here.
Yeah,
We're going to put together the powers that be at the governor's mansion to get this guy out of here. We're gonna find a way to get Brian Kelly out of here because the state can't bear to have him around any longer. And he packed his bags and got in his car at 5 a.m. this morning.
The
and
bags
rolled
have been
up out.
packed, brother.
What?
He's already got a go bag. That shit's
he's
he
ready
was
to roll.
leaving. He was leaving this week regardless for the
He
bye
just-
week.
He was going to drop the key off
Yeah,
in the office.
he looked like Jamal Adams. Like, Joe, it still works. Like,
Oh,
he didn't even know how to do it. He had to act like, let me in. Like, okay, yeah, we'll let you in for 6 minutes. Get out. Go. And that's the last time he'll be in that facility, and thank God. Because you could see by just the way in which he operated that was just a perfect encapsulation of who Brian Kelly is. Like, oh, go on to the next. I'm going to park like an asshole. I'm going to leave like an asshole in my new car, whatever. But it's just like the perfect good riddance. You don't get to leave in the night to go somewhere else. You're actually getting fired in the night.
Right.
Oh, and guess what? We're going to call you back in the morning. Come back. Ugh. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. It's the way it works when you work.
Yeah.
And that I was funny enough talking to it was my off day, Thursday.
Uh-huh.
I was with Chris Phillips and Mikey playing a little bit of golf, showing around, U Club, as it were. And that's right. And we were having a conversation like, you know what the saddest part about all of this is? It's like, I wake up earlier than he does. And Chris is like, you? I was like, I'm up at 5:30 every morning. He's like, you think Brian Kelly is? He's like, that is sad. Because I can't say that about Jay Johnson.
No.
I can't say that about Kim Mulkey.
Johnson sleeps at the facility.
Yeah, I don't think he has yet slept.
Right.
I don't know. I've never seen it. I need evidence. And even he checked out. Like, I don't think I want to be here. And that was the
They
best.
left before the fourth quarter.
That was the best part about it.
Can't stand to watch it.
While he was there, LSU was playing expired. And then I wonder what happened. But that man it's the worst and best thing that could have happened to LSU and Brian Kelly is you had an absolute model of what success looks like. And at some point, they were going to start comparing the two. Why are you coming here, somebody that was relatively unknown? Yeah, you won on the West Coast at Arizona. And then you're the hire that Scott Woodward made. And everybody was like, oh, go get the biggest name you can get. You find a Jay Johnson. And then from day one, it has looked starkly different than Brian Kelly. Immediately comes in, works, wins, works. That's what success looks like. That's what it takes to win. And he had a cushier job than maybe if anybody could rest on the laurels of LSU, it's LSU baseball. But what did he do? He ingratiated himself into the LSU program, into Skip Bertman, into what the legacy and the lore of the program was, and he understood LSU.
Right.
And that's all we ask you to do. You don't even have to do as much as Jay's doing. Les somehow figured it out.
And that's
Coach
why,
O was
he's
you're a
legit.
godson.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
we still like him,
but
and he threw it in the shitter.
and that's why the word when the term fit is thrown around, it doesn't have to do with the fact that they're not from Louisiana or not from the South. It comes down to the fact that LSU football had a blueprint that has worked for 20 years, for 2 decades. LSU had a blueprint that has led to 3 national championships. Under coaches that, from a coaching standpoint, are not as successful or as good of coaches as Brian Kelly was before he got here. Les Miles and Coach O were not these superstar hires when they came in. Brian Kelly was a big name, winningest active head football coach when he was brought in. But he disrespected the job. He never once respected the gig because there was a cheat sheet, a cheat code that was laid out in front of Brian Kelly. And I will give him his credit for getting the program back to being competitive when he first got here. At least setting somewhat of a standard to get you from 39 scholarship players to fielding a team and making an SEC championship game. But that should be the beginning, and it should have gone up from there, and it didn't, and that is 1,000% disrespect and irresponsibility from a coaching standpoint.
But it also shows shows you how easy it can be.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. The blueprint is laid out, and Brian Kelly never once looked at it. The blueprint that Nick Saban laid out for the LSU job, which in turn has made the LSU job one of the best in the sport, if not the best. That blueprint was used by Les Miles to win a national championship and to make another. It was used by Ed Orgeron to win a national championship. Brian Kelly never used it. He thought the BK blueprint was going to lead the way, bringing in guys like Brian Polian and Matt House was going to get the job done. And it didn't. The Brian Kelly blueprint is not bigger than the LSU blueprint. You know how I know that? The LSU blueprint has won 3 national championships. The BK blueprint. And if he would have sat back and followed the LSU blueprint and actually been bought in and cared about his job, he'd still have a job right now. And he'd probably have a ring. But instead, he thought he was bigger than LSU football. And in turn, the state of Louisiana said it was time to cut a check and get him up out of here. It had to happen. Had to happen. And we could make a list. I could put a graphic together of all the things, all the watermarks. None are bigger than after an ugly win against Florida in week 3 of this football season, the man sat at the podium and said, "You're spoiled." To every single person in that room that watched it on YouTube, every single LSU fan and citizen of the state of Louisiana was spoiled because they expect more than what BK was doing. You know how spoiled we are, Brian? You're fired. You're gone. That's how spoiled we are. Because we know what winning looks like, and it's not you.
And you don't.
It's not you. The guys, the guys that you weren't letting back in the facility, and the guys like Braden Fajoko that were getting online and talking and getting on tire droppings and dropping bombs, guess what he's got on his finger? A ring. What you got, BK? Nothing. Ain't got nothing to show for it. Congratulations, you're a Hall of Fame coach. Winningest head coach that's active.
Not
no
active.
longer active, coach. You're gone.
So now
fired.
You can't even put that on the wall.
LSU had to move on, and they did. And in turn, Frank Wilson is now the interim head football coach. And I tell you what, this program is in a better spot right now than it was 24 hours ago. Because now the program is in the hands of Frank Wilson and Austin Thomas. There's very few people that I trust more than those guys to handle the program right now in its current standing. And the reason why is Caldwell put it out. What was one of the knocks against BK? Didn't know the players' names. What number is Trey'Dez Green? Who's number 14? What's the, You know what? I can guarantee you Frank knows the name of every single player on that roster. You know why? Because he did the work to get him there. That's why I know it's in a better spot, because Frank Wilson knows the name of, like Caldwell said, he knows the name of every player and probably their parents too, because he did the work to get him there. Frank Wilson has been selling the LSU football program for decades. Frank Wilson is an LSU football legend. And there are few people I trust to hold the rope right now more than him and Austin Thomas in the way they're going to control this thing. And you know what BK didn't like? When BK first got here, who was his recruiting coordinator? Was it Frank Wilson, the guy that's got Tyrann Mathieu and Leonard Fournette to come to LSU football? Nope. I'm not going to make him my recruiting coordinator. You know what? I'm going to bring Brian Polian down. And we're going to go get players from Minnesota and Maine and New Rhode Island and Delaware and New Jersey. I'm not gonna make my recruiting coordinator Frank Wilson. No, what is Frank Wilson? You know what Frank Wilson's done, Coach? A lot more than you.
With that
and BK that's once again disrespecting the blueprint, because if there's a big piece of the blueprint, it's Frank Wilson. And it is a beautiful moment to see BK kick to the curb and Frank Wilson gets the nod of interim head football coach, because he is an embodiment of LSU, because he has helped build the golden era of LSU football. And there are few people I trust more than Frank Wilson and Austin Thomas. And BK, I wouldn't be surprised if BK was looking at the staff changes saying, get rid of Frank, because he knew that there's one person on his staff that LSU is going to pick over him, and that's Frank Wilson. BK's gone. Frank Wilson is your interim head football coach. He will hold the rope for whatever's next for LSU football. And I've got, I think, a pretty good idea of where this is headed. I think it's a one-man list. There's one name on the list for LSU football. There were a lot of things that played into making the move now, but I think the biggest thing was you can't miss your shot. In my opinion, my expectation is that LSU's looking this as a Lane Kiffin or bust scenario. Because you make the move now so you don't miss out on that. If you wait and Florida makes the move and Florida gets Lane and you're sitting there, you're empty-handed, you make the move now so that you're right in the mix. In my opinion, my expectation is that this is a Lane Kiffin or bust scenario. That LSU football made the move now to get themselves squarely in the position to go get Lane Kiffin. And I'm not saying that there aren't other names that can get the nod and that I won't be happy with. In my opinion, my expectation is that it's Lane Kiffin or bust.
It rightly so, right? Don't you think that at this juncture, and I think that this regime, as it were, and we don't know the future of Scott Woodward, we don't know the future of really anyone aside from Frank Wilson as interim head coach, and don't get it twisted, he'll try like hell to win this job. Like, he knows that he's had opportunities at UTSA.
You think Frank's going to want the job?
Hell yeah, everybody.
It's LSU football.
It's LSU football.
Like long term.
Yeah, don't get it twisted that Frank wouldn't crawl through glass the same way Lane Kiffin wouldn't crawl through glass for this job. He sees an opportunity, and a motivated Frank Wilson is a terrifying person to have to, and that's the sentiment that I think is good. He can win people over. How do you think LSU football is going to look against Alabama in 2 weeks? Think they're going to look soft?
Well, they'll have a new quarterback.
Probably so.
Yeah.
He'll make changes, and he'll make wholesale changes to placate to the fan base. Because that's how you win as an interim coach, to be able to get the head job. I watched interim Ed become your head football coach, and even he had a loss and did it. But people were so tired of the previous thing, the next thing that you saw was the best thing. And it was like, thank God this looks different. And Frank Wilson has as much power in this state as anybody can have, and he'll get a shot. He'll get an equal opportunity to be able to win that job because we'll see if he's earned it.
Yeah.
But he's given his all for LSU, and it's a shot that he probably wants to take. I've coached other places. Have succeeded? No. UTSA, McNeese. But I know the state, and I know I can recruit like hell. And I don't know if LSU wants to go the direction of not having an absolute somebody like a Lane Kiffin or a defensive-minded guy like Kelvin Shepard, somebody that also knows the program. If they want to go in the spot of we have to have an absolute offense or an absolute defense and somebody that can rest on at least we have this instead of a CEO-type guy. But Frank Wilson's going to fight like hell for this job. Well, and you can see it in this, like, Cobble put out the clip. At 36 seconds in, there's two people working.
Right, and these are the two men that I trust holding on to this program.
Look, they ain't going home tonight.
Right.
Like, these are two guys that are making plays, making moves to be able to, all right, I got to go talk to the team, go talk to the boys. We got to come up with a game plan of what this is going to look like. And that's that's how well respected he is in the building. Like, you could
100%.
Like, everybody loves him.
And I'm excited for what these next. It's going to be a sprint, 4 games. I'm excited to see what it looks like under the tutelage of Frank Wilson. But the thing is, what Frank wants more than anything is to be at LSU.
Right.
He's gonna fight for that job. At the same time, that associate head coach, recruiting coordinator position, that's FrankWilson.com. And you know, and with what Josh Hill says in the chat, where's it at? Where'd he say? He said it. The only thing I know for certain is Jimmy Sexton is getting rich this year. So this is JimmySexton.com.
He's got his new golden goose.
This is JimmySexton.com. When Florida is open and LSU is open, there's one name that should pop in your head, and it should be Jimmy Sexton. Making things move and making things happen. Jimmy Sexton is as a big of a part of this as anybody else is.
And this is his new Nick Saban. This is his golden goose.
Right. And
I can move him around and float his name around, but don't get it twisted. LSU doesn't make this move
right
without the intent or the idea that they have a name in mind.
You don't take this risk
without
having some sort of comfortability and in my opinion, my expectation is that it's Lane Kiffin or bust at this point. Because one thing LSU can't do is go get an inexperienced guy as head football coach. That's not where the program is right now. You've got to take this swing.
But it also is.
But if you're going to move off of Brian Kelly at this juncture, at this point in the season, your mindset's got to be going to get an experienced head football coach. And in my opinion, the thought process is Lane. They're going after Lane Kiffin. Because with Lane, and play that clip again, those two guys walking down the stairs, what were their names, Lloyd?
It'd be Frank Wilson and Austin Thomas.
And who was Lane Kiffin's, wide receivers coach at Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
Frank Wilson. Where was Austin Thomas, the general manager, at prior to LSU?
Ole Miss.
Those two know how to work.
Those two.
There's
not many guys that know the working of LSU football and are more trusted in that fact than those two gentlemen.
I have a question to pose to you.
Okay.
If LSU does not land on Lane Kiffin, or I'd say the second candidate would be Kelvin Shepherd, do you see LSU stick with Frank next year, or do you want them to stick with Frank next year and just kind of wait it out and see if you can get a better option? Because I don't know if you want to lose your first option again and go get another Brian Kelly. Not saying the second option would be Brian Kelly, but you lost your first option in 22 and you miss on Lincoln Riley and you get Brian Kelly?
It's going to be an interesting situation. I think where LSU's at right now, they know if they're going to take a swing they can't miss, because we're talking about what would look bad for the program. What would look bad for the program is if you take a big swing and you miss.
But this is kind of the same discourse, though, around Brian Kelly's hiring. He was a big swing, and everybody said that was a hit. Well, now it's a miss. But year one, it was a hit. So are you willing to take another big swing in that sense again?
Accepting the job was the hit. He didn't turn down LSU. If LSU takes a swing and misses because
I see what you're saying.
Someone takes the Florida job or stays where they're at, that's a miss, because that's bad for the program.
Right.
If someone's not going to take the LSU job, that means maybe it doesn't mean the same thing we think it means. And so I'm not saying that I wouldn't want Frank, but I think Frank, the position that Frank is in right now is the perfect spot to have Frank if you're LSU football. He's going to be the interim head coach. He's going to get these guys fired up. He knows the program. The recruiting coordinator, because he is he's Uncle Frank. I mean, if there's anything he's going to do, he's going to recruit. He's going to work his tail off in the recruiting field. An associate head coach to help continue to build the brand. It's going to be interesting to see how this process works out. But I'm in the mindset right now that with LSU and even the state of Louisiana making this move, you do it so you can take a swing. And right now, with where this program's at, you cannot swing and miss.
It's one of the few times LSU has been proactive and been in the position to be able to actually be a player in this game. Because for so long as I've been alive, it's been, you missed him by a year. You missed him by a year. He left you. Now, you've been proactive in your search. You've been proactive in your firing, because when it was right, wrong, or indifferent, you had the opportunity to hire Jimbo Fisher as a national championship head coach, come back to LSU and be able to run your program. But you waited. You
Right.
carried less off the field, and you said, no, this is the right guy for the job. He'll change. And instead of waiting for that watershed moment of if you bring Brian Kelly back and you have the Arkansas game where he's able to swing the pendulum the other way, if he beats Alabama, beats Arkansas, beats Western Kentucky, and then you go and maybe you lay an egg against Oklahoma. But he had you didn't give him the opportunity to get one over on you one last time. And so that sets you up for, you're seeing how this thing is playing out whenever Lane Kiffin was mentioned for the Florida job, and all the reports are, he got a contract offer, he talked with this team. That man is open for business. And Lane Kiffin has always been open for business because he's never gotten the right job for him.
Right.
Tennessee, too young. You could make a litany of excuses for Lane. I believe that Lane has turned a corner in terms of who he is he understands that whether it took the passing of his father for him to realize this is my legacy. I want to do it for him.
Right.
And maybe I wasn't taking this seriously, but I've also been thrust into a job that too early every time. I'm 25 years old coaching the Oakland Raiders. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Right.
And so that led him down a path of I'll figure it out. And he finally got to settle at Ole Miss. And LSU and Lane have been doing the look across the bar and catching eyes for a long time.
Long time.
And it's finally LSU finally said, I'm breaking up with my girlfriend. My wife would ever divorce. I'm tired of us looking at each other. Let's see what this looks like.
And on top of that, what you saw on Saturday from Ole Miss's standpoint, old Lane Kiffin drops that game to Oklahoma every single time. And if you
with all the distractions around him,
right, drops that game every time.
Instead,
instead, Ole Miss goes out there with a Division II quarterback, and I know he might win the Heisman because of what Kiffin's done. They win that football game. And on Saturday, you see Ole Miss handle business like that on the road in Norman, a game that old Lane Kiffin drops. And what does LSU do in Death Valley? They get punked in their own stadium. So that's my expectation, just from the way this is all lined up and the fact that you go out and you make this move.
Right now,
that LSU's looking at this as Kiffin or bust. And they are going to take that swing, and if I know it, I know LSU knows it. You can't miss. Because if you take the swing at Kiffin and he stays at Ole Miss or he takes the Florida job, that means that it's viewed by the hottest name this cycle as not a better gig than Ole Miss or Florida.
And that's why
LSU can't take that hit. That's where it's at right now.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
Exactly. That's why you had to make the move when you did, because the brand as a whole was losing its
suffering.
It was the first time in my life I've ever been almost embarrassed to be a part of LSU and be an alumni there. And everything that happened that Saturday night was one of the lowest points of being a part of LSU that's ever happened. And I've been a part of the Troy loss. I've seen it. I've seen the Troy comeback. But even that didn't feel like this, where Texas A&M came in with a game plan. And I'm not talking about Mike Elko. I'm talking about the fan base knew that they saw a wounded duck.
Oh, yeah.
And they went full steam ahead, and they ate your lunch. They saw you hurt, and it was death by 1,000 paper cuts to the point where they not only killed you, took your home and slept in your bed.
They took over.
They didn't even let you watch.
And
you took my wife, you took my daughter,
and
they said you don't even get to sit in the chair, cuz you got to go.
I'm sitting in the stands like this. After
I was afraid
quarter,
to be put on TV.
It's after the third quarter. I got my face,
Surrender Cobra,
my palms, and I'm just. And then I hear the place erupt. I think I included the clip in the document under. This is the damage he had done is what I labeled it. I got my face in my palm, and I hear this roar in the stadium, and I'm like, okay, time out. What just happened? Why are we happy? Because we shouldn't be happy. And I look up at the screen, I see Tiger Tuba Kent. I'm like, oh no, it's because they put Kent. Shout out to Kent on the screen. No. The roar was from the Aggies to my right, because their team was over, hyping them up, getting them all fired up. that was the loudest I've ever heard an opposing fan base in Death Valley. Absolutely took over. I was shook. And that is the damage that had been done to the LSU football program.
Never in my life have I seen anything like this.
And I think the biggest punch in the gut was Tommy Moffitt walking in front of that Aggie fan base, hyping them up, getting them loud in Death Valley.
And I understand the Tommy Moffitt sentiment.
Yeah, no, I'm not one of the ones pushing for that, but it still is a punch in the gut because I think Moffitt and A&M both needed one another.
Yeah,
but this was the moment right here that it was like
it's sickening.
The Coliseum had fallen.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter here at Baton Rouge. Yes.
Because that right there is absolutely unacceptable. And that's the damage that Brian Kelly had done to this program. It was no longer, I think A&M posted after where opponents' dreams come alive.
Yeah,
had completely changed the narrative of what LSU football is. And that is why the move had to be made. It's why it had to be done. Look, we're going to take a quick break, set up hour number 2. We're going to take your phone calls. So after we take this break, we'll come right back. We'll take your phone calls. And just a precedent, just to get it to lay this down before the phone calls start rolling in. We got to make them snappy because I know a lot of people are going to want to get their 2 cents in. So that's what it's got to be. It's got to be 2 cents. It can't be $2.
Quick therapy.
Right? So it's got to be quick therapy. You're going to call in. You got 30 seconds, if that. Rattle it off. We'll open the line up for whoever's next. Don't forget, every single day we're brought to you by CAS Roofing and Advising. Our guy Pierce Patterson over at CAS. It's not just another roof. It's our reputation. His number's 225-910-0619. Pierce Patterson from CAS Roofing and Advising. If you've got grit in your driveway coming off your roof, you've got a missing shingle, you've got a leak in your house, or if your roof is just 10 years old or older, go ahead, dial up 225-910-0619. Give Pierce Patterson a call. Come out. Check it out. Make sure you're in good shape, and if you're not, he'll walk you through the process after that. We will be right back with your phone calls after this.
Just also quick PSA. Sorry about that. It pissed me off too, but this is a day to rejoice. That video made
it made me sick.
And so rejoice said
it represents a bigger meaning now.
Yes.
That was the.
If this was a show in which Brian Kelly was still the head coach, I could vomit on air, but the bad man's gone.
He is. Bad man's gone.
Wardos was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Branding at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
where everyone is family.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
No sauce or all the sauce?
All the sauce.
Sauce.
Look at Christian crushing this box combo.
Oh, he's never crushed box before.
All right, we're about to take your
You
phone
don't say
calls.
that.
We're about to take your phone calls here on this Monday morning as we react
Shout out Todd.
to the news. Lloyd's going to throw that number up on the screen. Like I said before we went to break, these got to be quick calls here. We got a lot of people that want to get their thoughts in. So make sure when you call in, you rattle off that tape. Knock it out. 2 cents, not $2. Let's make it happen. I'm excited to hear from all of you, but I want to make sure we can hear all of you. And on top of that, while there's a caller, active caller, try and refrain from calling in so we don't hear that annoying beep.
Because
we
want everybody to get in.
We want everybody to get in. We're gonna make sure everybody gets their 2 cents in.
So I will have to. I'll just have to send you a voicemail.
Yeah, we'll have to decline the call, but we'll make sure if you stick with us, we'll get back to you. So we're going to open up the phone line here, hear from all of you. 225-267-7812 is the number. Call in, and you've got 2 cents, not $2. So let's make it fast, make it snappy. Let's hear what you got to say. We are excited to hear from each and every one of you here on this Monday morning.
Phone lines are officially hot. Sorry for the calls that I've missed. Just call them back.
As the phone line is officially open this morning.
Call from
Tremaine. All right.
Press 1.
Have a take, don't suck. Talk to me. What you got?
Yo,
How we doing?
how you doing? Good morning, man. Good morning, fellas.
Good
Good
morning
morning,
to
sir.
you. Let's hear it. What you got for us?
I know everyone's upset, man, but, the thing that bothers me the most is, why did it take Josh Pate to break all of this news about the horrible culture, the horrible things going on, the lack of commitment from Kelly when we have paid LSU media that's around this guy, that's with this guy, and it took this man getting fired for us to know any of this. What about all the boosters, the TAF, the fan donation money? What about all this shit that, excuse me, sorry for the language, fellas,
fine.
but
No, you're good.
what about all this crap, man, that people donated money to? This man came out and begged the fans to donate money, but you taking that money, going to vacation and all this other crap. I mean, it shouldn't take Josh Pate to break Louisiana news in Louisiana when we got Louisiana men and women covering Louisiana. Great show. Love you, fellas. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys handle that.
I appreciate it.
And
There's a balance between those things. Obviously, there were some things that were known about, but at the same time, the program is still important and making sure the players and all of those things. There's a balance between outing and running with a lot of these information. We said some of the things and pointed some of those things out, but on that front, he is still the active head football coach, and they had an $18 million roster that should have been good enough to win a national championship.
I don't think I've run from any of those allegations. I've been trying to you hear what you want to hear. And
Right.
people don't want to believe some of the things that came out because while Brian Kelly was winning, it was still happening.
Right.
But we have to believe because during that era, it was we can't afford a buyout, so we can't even pretend like this matters.
Right.
Bruh,
Call
I've
from
been telling you.
Sabrion, talk to us. What you got?
Press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Sabrion, hit us.
Have a take, don't suck.
Yo,
Talk
brother.
to me.
what up?
How we doing?
Say, Ron. I had a whole damn speech planned. I'm sorry if you got kids. Stevie, I'm sorry. I got to cuss a little bit.
Let him rip.
But I had a whole damn speech picked up this morning, but good thing that some bitch was fired last night because I was about to have a fucking aneurysm. But thank God they got rid of that son of a bitch because we were about to fucking ride. There ain't no fucking way in hell that you let them faggots come in there and take over our fucking stadium and there ain't no damn consequences behind it. Just like Tremaine said, you asked for our fucking money, our support, we fucking gave it to you. You pissed on our back until this fucking rain. And then you go hire Joe Sloan's dumb ass who ain't got sense God gave a billy goat and want to save his ass, protect Joe fucking job when he got your ass fired. Don't fuck around with LSU and expect nothing to happen to you.
Amen.
So that's all I got to say. Next coach, wish you the fucking best, but fuck you, Brian Kelly. Kick rocks, you bitch.
There you go. Shout out to Sabe, bro. We love you, Sabe. Yeah, no, look, I mean, it would have been a riot had this not happened, because what happened Saturday night was absolutely unacceptable. And
I mean, what would the Arkansas game look like?
What would the Alabama game look like?
Well, no, it's not.
Oh,
I'm talking about
at home.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be empty.
And,
if anything, it would be Arkansas. They'd see this as their opportunity.
Yeah, again,
to strike when it's
people just because they saw legs spread wide open. I'll take all comers. Yeah, sure.
Pause.
No, but nobody did.
No.
And that's why you had to make a change. It really was I had the conversation with my family, all of us that have parts of putting money into the tickets, and it was like, do you want to do this again next year? And we were like, absolutely not if he's here.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a move that had
Call
to be made
from
because you could not
Mike Lindenbaum.
continue to.
Oh, God.
Oh, Mike.
That's why you had to make it.
Hello, Mike.
Mike.
Hello,
Mike, talk to us. Are you doing?
is Mike live?
Are you doing okay today, Mike? This is a good day, Mike.
It's good for you, Mike.
Yeah, it's a great day. I just wanted to say I'm sorry about what I said last week, but in that same sense, fuck Brian Kelly.
At least you survived.
And you know what? I've been listening to that song that them youngins like. It's like where they go ha ha ha. I think it's called "Giggling to the Bank." Man, I love that song. Man, I was just giggling to the bank all night long.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Giggling to the bank.
Well, the song, I was listening to the song. I mean, I haven't gone to sleep yet. I've been listening to that song on repeat.
It's a good day, huh, Mike? Drywall's in good shape.
Drywall's in good shape. There's a hole, but it's not for my fist. I'll tell you that much.
Are you stocked up on cigarettes and milk?
Oh, brother, I'm not even going with cigarettes this morning. I'm down 5 cigars with my glass of milk.
There you go. Shout out to you, Mike. Well, I'm glad it's a good day for you, Mike.
I'm laughing to the bank.
Hey, y'all boys have a wonderful one.
We appreciate you, Mike.
Appreciate
You
you,
as
Mike.
well, my friend. Shout out to Mike.
So he had sex with his wall.
That's what it sounded like.
I mean,
There's a hole in my drywall, but it ain't from my fist.
That's the
Come
most-
on, Mike.
Look,
Shout out
you
to
think LSU had a toxic relationship with Brian Kelly?
Call
Mike
from
and his wall, man.
Talk to him. All right. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Lance from Lafayette.
Talk to me, Lance.
What's
What
up,
you
brother?
How y'all doing? Oh, I know y'all doing good.
got?
I think this is going I like the fact that Skate Brown went before me. You know what I'm saying? I like this transition. So I'm under the impression that I feel that this is a win-win. I think that Brian Kelly came in, prick and all, whatever he is. We all knew kind of who he was, not to the extent, but, we all had our reservations. But he came in and did his job. I know he wiped out everything, and unfortunately Frank had to go, and all the time saying, yeah, he had to tuck his tail between his legs and hire them back. But I feel that he did his job. This is a win-win. We use each other. LSU used him to clean it up. He used LSU for their money. That kind of is what it is. It's a business. I feel that the contract was probably outside of Brian Kelly. The contract was a big part. Because if you're going to give an already lazy person that much money over that many years, expect these results.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this was for Brian Kelly to be in the mindset that he was obviously in, and to have the money sitting there the way it was. There was really no reason for him to be inspired, and you saw it on full display. So I completely agree.
Exactly. And he's a long tenured coach. He had nothing to prove. you don't want young coaches, but you do want coaches to prove something. He really did. Outside of a championship, he had nothing to prove. He was rich. He had, he went to a championship. I get that. But, he didn't. You had that coach that we needed, but he didn't have that fight, which, whatever. But I also want to just kind of give out, I think Uncle Frank, he's probably the best option we could have. I think that was, given the circumstances, I think that was huge that we were able to kind of keep him, kind of ride the ship, because there's nobody you want to ride the ship more than like a local that people love.
He'll be able to study this thing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, right. And I think as long as you keep this core together, and these people, now players are pissed. Is there truth to Perkins, like, just sitting out? Or is that just like
a
fucking
fake
bullshit?
account?
That was a fake 1-3.
That was a fake account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I looked up a couple sources. I saw fake, but then I went, you're never sure nowadays. And
Right. No, of course.
I was like, first off, that's stupid to release. That I don't trust that. He's a kid, but anyway.
But yeah,
right.
No,
great troll.
The big news is Brian Kelly's out as the LSU head football coach, and Lance, we appreciate you calling.
Perfect.
Yes, I mean, that's the sentiment. I'm surprised. Like, players left dejected, but I don't think they were sad. They were just kind of a little bit like, oh, what's my future? It's not that Brian Kelly isn't the head coach anymore. He never had any relationship or pulse with any of those guys.
Right, and I think, and that's why you keep Frank. Because he does. Like y'all said, if Frank knows anything, okay, let's just say he don't know shit about football, right? That's blasphemy. But let's just say there's anything he's going to know is your name and your number. He's going to know your mama's name. He's going to know your daddy's name. He's going to know your family.
Amen.
And y'all touched on this, and we touched on this throughout the years. But, and I feel that as Louisianians, I think we are a little hypersensitive, considering a couple things, respect and all this, and how, because we are lower on a lot of statistics. But don't fuck with us with football.
Amen.
Amen.
That's all we got. That's all we got. Football, baseball.
Don't put it.
Football's the big dog.
Right.
Brother,
don't try to put a
you.
sheet over our head.
Yep.
Right.
100%. Thank you, Lance.
And I feel like, I know.
Yeah, we appreciate you calling in. Yeah, no, he's right. You can make fun of us for a whole lot of stuff in the state of Louisiana.
But don't touch my ball.
Whether it's our potholes or our inability to read.
Or us eating bugs.
Don't mess with football and food now.
See, Frank will remember you from youth football camps, and it's
100.
true. That's what good coaches do. You saw the Kenny Dillingham quote coming out too is also
that's
damning.
Frank Wilson.
Yeah, but it's damning on Brian Kelly. Like a 32-year-old head coach is out there going, "I don't call you by your number. I call you by your name because you're important to me. I don't remember your number or your name."
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, that's 1,000%.
Call from
King of Cum Guzzlers.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Somebody's calling at the same time. I don't know what
Just
to do.
hang up the call that's coming in. And then
Call from
Bo.
Oh, no.
Let's see what we got here.
Switch them.
What's your name? Where are you
Call
calling
from.
We got you?
Come Guzzler?
Hello? You there? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Anything. No, it's all right. We'll get to the next caller.
Yeah, just call back. Sorry, I've never had to.
No, it's okay.
There we go.
Got a lot of calls coming through.
Call from
Ryan Stadler.
Oh, stat.
All right. Talk to us. What you got?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Oh,
Excellent.
How
How are you,
How
sir?
are you?
I guess it depends. I was there. I was alive. I was there. It was quite a sight. I want to say it is a little shocking when you view if Ed Orgeron or Les Miles had been there with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter and you were down by 2 scores, that stadium would not have emptied. That was very telling. I mean, the floodgates opened with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. I'm like, guys, we're down by 2 scores, but the defense could tell it. Everybody knew in the stadium there's no way they're coming back from that deficit. LSU just has not been built for it mentally at all. And that ultimately is where we're at. This team has never been coached mentally strong. It just is what it is. He's been out-coached every week since he's been here for the most part. So glad to move on with the chapter. I will say, I do think LSU needs to be very, very, very careful. It is, like you say, you can't miss.
Right.
It's one of those things, if you're not careful, you start going down the slippery slope, and then before you know it, we are what Florida's been the last decade and a half.
Yes, that's the terrifying part, is how quickly this can
That's
slip
the scary
through,
part.
slip
And
through
the
your
other
hands.
alarming part is the fact that Jeff Landry is getting highly involved in this, who brought the big fat meth tiger in the stadium last year.
Shout out to Omar.
That is alarming. How much of that is going to be involved with Scott Woodworth when I'm already hearing things that he is not in agreement with how LSU is spending in their athletic department? That's the part that does alarm me just a little. Like, how involved is he going to be, once he hires a new president? Is Scott Woodworth even going to be able to stick around? I don't know. But all that being said, I've listened pretty closely to people that are sports writers that cover Ole Miss football and people that are close to Lane's family. And they, a few weeks ago, where LSU was at, turn the clock forward to where we're at now, we're very concerned that, LSU was the wild card job. If it did come open, that would be the one that he would be extremely probably he would take. And I'm hoping so bad that LSU can somehow do this. If they do this, with your spending, you can't afford to go cheap on this. That's my only contingency. Like, if you're going to be willing to spend this kind of money, don't tell me you're worried about what LSU's spending in athletics.
Right.
No, it's only
if
so
you have
much
to
of our
backload
money.
this, who was that in the league? Somebody in the league. I don't know if it was the NFL, somewhere in baseball, but you could backload Kiffin's contract and work your way around this.
Shohei Ohtani was given $700 million, and it was only like $10 million for the first,
gotcha.
or like $5 million for the first 2 seasons. But I agree with you. I think it's a big moment for LSU football where they make this move, and you got to go make something else happen. But we appreciate you calling in. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, man, go Tigers.
Yep, go Tigers. No, it's 100% right. I mean, it's a big moment in time, and I know that there are a lot of people that are iffy on the political situation around LSU football, and it's understandable. But Louisiana politics have always been a part of this, and I'll just break it down this way for what's to come forward. You have an open president's job right now, where you have an interim president, and that is a job that is chosen by the Board of Supervisors, who are basically an extension of the governor. So the governor has say-so in what goes on. So the power dynamic is from governor to Board of Supervisors to president to athletic director to head football coach, basically. And as of right now, the position where LSU football is, or the position where LSU is, they are on the hunt for a new president. And in turn, that will likely lead, and just from what I've heard, and just can kind of tell that it's moving, likely lead to a new athletic director, which will in turn obviously lead to a new head football coach because you need one. And so be on the lookout for these moves that are to come, because they're the dominoes that are going to fall moving forward. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo, what's up? It's Bo.
Bo, talk to us. What you got?
Hey, Bo.
I ain't got a whole lot to say. Just want to give the weekly reminder that Joe Sloan fucking sucks. And I cannot wait for that motherfucker to be next. And we need to kick him to a whole new state. And I don't ever want to see him again. That's all I got.
There you go.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Bo. Shout out to Bo. Short and sweet. There you go. Get that take in. Rattle off your 2 cents. But yeah, no, I mean, it's
Sloan and Atkins arrived together. That was interesting.
To the meeting.
Yeah. And then Nuss was a couple of hours behind everyone as he went to go see his daddy coach.
Saints game.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I guess. Right?
Yeah, no, sure, I guess.
I mean, we wouldn't have known.
No. But I mean, we got the Panda watchers out there watching, and Nuss shows up late. And then Caldwell also put out the video yesterday of
you just got benched.
The dynamics between Nuss and Kelly on the sideline, which was
he hated that man. He hated that.
Oh my gosh! Don't say anything. He literally did he pointed at me, pointed at the booth, and then walked. I was like, phew. That is it's an ugly dynamic, that's for sure.
Call from.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Fuck Brian Kelly.
Thank you, Gage.
Yeah, I believe that was Gage Evans' voice. We got a next call.
I mean, he doesn't have to worry about
Call
fixing Brian
from-
Kelly's roof.
Alex Futch.
Oh.
To accept, press
Alex, what you got for us?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today?
Oh, we're doing. It's a great day.
Great day
Alex.
to be
Doing
alive,
well.
brother.
And last night, after everything went down, I watched Swagoo. He went live on Instagram last night, and he had lots of thoughts. He was bringing up the old times, talking about the brand of LSU football and the type of players that we had, and as far as like looking for a new coach, he said that he just wants the next guy to be real, and I don't think that from the get-go Brian Kelly came off as real or authentic, and I think that's something that you got to be, especially down here. But also, quick point I wanted to bring up: how funny would it be if we did get Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss? Because Ole Miss is basically, the cuck of the SEC. Because they had Tommy Tuberville back in the day. He said he wasn't going to leave there unless it was in a pine box. And Lane Kiffin this weekend telling the student section like he ain't leaving. And I think that'd be hilarious if we could get him from Ole Miss, kind of stick it to him a little bit.
Yeah, no, it would be. It would definitely be quite the moment for both LSU and Ole Miss. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he would be a good hire. I mean, obviously we're at the very first stages of this situation that's going to go on for the next few months. So we'll have a lot to talk about and a lot to look forward to. But I appreciate you guys yesterday. Rohan, he kind of, I know he comes from the older school, and he was talking about how it's going to be 2-3 years till we get back. And I mean, if you make a home run hire for your next head coach with the transport portal and NIL, I don't think. I mean, he was talking about it's not microwave. I think the state of football now is absolutely set up to be a microwave. I mean, you got Indiana, who's nothing, turns around and makes a college playoff in 1 year with Signetti. I mean, if you make the right hire and the money's in the right place, I think you could absolutely be back within a year or two. I don't think it's 3-4 years down the road. But then to get there again, you got to make that right hire.
Yeah, no, you have to make the right hire, and I definitely think that is going to be a tall task in front of LSU, that's for sure. So, but we appreciate you, Alex. Thank you for always tuning in and for calling in this morning.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
Yep, you as well. But, no, he's right. He's 100% right. It is because, and that's the part of Rose Point that I will agree with, because there are parts of it that it can be maybe a little old-fashioned, some would think, but it's going to be a tall task moving forward regardless, and it's going to be an expensive task moving forward regardless, where there's the numbers like it'll be $120 million move. I guess there's a lot of money involved in this current situation. And I think that's the fear for a lot of people, is that LSU is not this Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Oregon, blank check school. But as you've seen, it's just in this current situation now, they're not going to pay the $53 million.
Call from.
But they raised that money quick to make it happen. So
to accept,
we've got our
press
next
1.
caller
To send a
this
voicemail.
morning. Talk to us. What you got?
What's up, fellas?
How you doing?
How we doing, bro?
Hey, man, I know it's fuck Brian Kelly Day, but it's something I wanted to talk about for a long time, man. Am I the only one that's tired of seeing Nuss acting like he's fucking dying every time he gets touched?
I don't believe you're the only one.
Okay. All right. I thought I was just tripping.
There's two sides of it, right? Where it feels like, yes, you are getting absolutely crushed back there, but at some point you never saw it from some of the greats, right? It's a mentality thing. You saw Joe Burrow get up every time. You saw even Cam Scatteraboo had his leg ripped off and he tried to stand up. Like, there's parts of people that have a different mentality, whether you were raised by a coach or not, that says, woe is me, I need help to get up, versus fuck that, I'm getting up and I'm going to spit back on you.
Right.
Yep. All right, brother. Happy Monday, man. Y'all be good.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yeah,
Monday.
Hey,
man got fired on his birthday.
When you got fired on his day off. He got waxed on his birthday and then axed the day after. So it was definitely a rough 2 days for BK, but it's not a rough 2 days for us. But yeah, no, I definitely don't think he's the only one because there's a strong contingency that doesn't like the.
I feel for Nuss.
Because your point was right. Like he is getting
crushed,
clobbered back there. But I've never been a fan of and I'm going to throw Max under the bus, my younger brother here. I used to hate when like you make a turnover or you miss a layup,
the loser limp,
and you're like, oh, what's my like.
You're not hurt.
When he was younger, he would do that. I was like, no, you got to cut that out.
Yeah,
that's not. You don't do that. Everyone knows you're not hurt. Everyone knows you just.
It's a tendency you have to break.
You have to
because it's an easy excuse. Like, oh, what if he's hurt?
Because most people have the reaction at some way. You got it. If you do, you got it.
Yeah, no, but there's just a different way to embrace it, and it depends on sometimes I don't think Nuss has an older brother, but it takes that to be like, that's not how this shit rolls.
Yeah,
you're actually about to be hurt.
Yeah, I'll show you hurt.
Exactly, but it takes I had an older brother, cut that shit out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not how I don't do it. You don't do it. It's next play.
Right.
And I understand that Nuss is getting walloped, but you have to. But you're showing them. You're showing them weakness to where there's keep getting after him.
That's not who LSU.
You can knock him out because it's not only that, but it's you can get him out the game. He's hurt.
Yeah.
And even if you're if you're not good, get up. You saw Baker Mayfield last week. Takes one absolutely in the chin, gets up and talks shit to the guy that hit him.
Right.
It takes a different mentality. If you want to make it in this game, in this world, it takes that. And I know that's why there's only a couple of them.
Well, and that's why, and this is the thing. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback get hit harder than Jaden Daniels consistently got hit at LSU. He got popped over and over. Anytime in open field, whatever. That man was smiling every single time.
It's
Will
football.
Campbell. Remember Will Campbell talking about it? He'd be like, he's never got his chin straps on. His helmet's all turned around. He straightens it back out. He's got a smile on his face. Be like,
Jade, you gotta tighten that chin strap. Makes me look bad. But say I've never seen that's what he kind of sounds like sometimes.
That did sound like him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But look,
you can go back to like I said. There's only been a handful of them, a handful of greats. And do you ever see Drew Brees? He got popped. You never saw him writhe on the ground. I'll give you your 2 cents on Drew. He was been the easiest target to be able. He's 5'10".
Matthew Stafford throw a touchdown with a dislocated shoulder.
Matthew Stafford is as tough as they come.
Right, that's what it takes.
But they don't layer Stafford was wallowing around. He's I just broke my arm.
Yeah,
I can play. Fuck
Fake
you.
ball.
Yeah, I'll throw it. Here he is.
Call from
King of Cum Guzzlers.
There he is.
There he is.
Fonz made his way back. Fonz, talk to us.
Good morning, Cum Guzzlers.
Good morning, sir. Great day to come.
Oh, man. I was going to do my name as Lloyd's a bitch, but it's whatever.
I'm too happy.
I'm pretty good. Hand up, I thought BK was going to be good for LSU, not because he was a fit, because of what his record was, but I didn't look at the actual record itself, and he did not win against ranked teams, so that's my fault. I'll take that accountability. My second thing is I just don't know if we're going to get Lane Kiffin away from Ole Miss. He's like a god there. He can do whatever he wants. He's almost got, I wouldn't say an empty checkbook for buying players for the NIL, but it's almost there. And I just don't think he would want to leave a place to where he could just do whatever the hell he wants, to come to a place where you fire a coach after 3 years of going mid. So, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely an interesting spot to be in, but it was.
At some point, you look at it and you go, it's LSU versus Ole Miss.
Right. Yep.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but as he said in the past, I know all the coaches have said shit in the past and they've changed their mind, blah, 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 blah. I just think coaches are looking at going, man, I'm in a spot where I can pretty much do whatever the hell I want and make good money. Why would I want to go try to stress my life out over there?
No, I get that. I do. But I still think that LSU is one of those jobs that regardless of how comfortable you are and how much you like your current spot, there are a handful of jobs in the country that when they're calling, especially if LSU wants you, it's hard to turn that down and sit back. That's where I believe the job is, and that's why I think this is a big moment, because if you swing and you miss, then the job isn't that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. So. Also, can we, since we're going on dreams and prayers, what about we check out Saban, see if he really wants to retire?
Miss Terry's answering calls, huh?
That's right.
Don't show Miss Terry that check.
I mean, that.
I also like Kenny Dillingham from Arizona State.
Yeah, he's a great coach.
Yeah, there will be a as much as we've honed in on one, and thank you for the call, Fonz.
Yep, love y'all.
Love
Bye.
you.
Go fuck yourself.
Go Tigers. Discord me. As much as LSU, it feels like it's circled in on a name.
Right.
You do have to cast and start discussing who, if it's not that, then whom.
Right.
And Dillingham is probably on that list of up-and-comer.
Shepard
is somebody that is in the NFL, and while he hasn't been a head coach, you have to start exploring those different options as much as you've tried the proven route with. And it's the only thing that I think the really qualifications are is to care. Like you've seen Ed Orgeron, when he had no qualifications, he was a failed head coach.
Right.
He was an excellent recruiter, and he was somebody that one of us. You know, they're built for throwing. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, whenever he had his head on straight and wanted to prove himself and win for the state, he cared. Les Miles, some way or somehow, I guess, cared. I don't know what his intent was, but I think he just knew he was a football coach. Yeah. Brian Kelly's persona and ego was bigger than football. In his mind, he was a legend in his own mind, and he came to a place where he thought he could kind of waltz around and do whatever he want, like Fonz is saying about Lane at Ole Miss, but Lane cares. He could have gone to Ole Miss, collect a paycheck, go 8-4, and they wouldn't have cared.
Right.
He could be there forever. But he's trying year after year after year to get to the top of the mountain for whether it be himself, his family, his legacy. Some people want to be good at their jobs, and some people want to lay back and go. Like Brian Kelly should have taken a different job somewhere
100%.
else. And he thought
if that Wisconsin job opens up, that's BK.com.
Yeah, and you go 9-3 and like surprise people. Like
right.
I'm sure he does want to coach just so he can be like, this can't be
Get
who
the narrative
like,
back.
Right. Like this is killing him.
Yes.
As much as we think he deserves everything that's happening right now. Don't get it twisted. But in his mind, he's like, I'll be back. And guess what, buddy? You might not be, because of what the performance you just put on might have been just bad enough to where he can do that to a program like LSU. Why would I want him at mine? And I think that's a real conversation that's going to happen. Like Penn State's open. They're not looking at Brian Kelly and go, whippy, I can't believe he got fired. Florida State's not looking at Brian Kelly and going, oh, maybe we should trade him for Norvell when Norvell took belt to ass to him 2 years in a row. Like, there's not a job opening out there at UCLA perfect. You and Chip Kelly and Brian Kelly can go roll around in the hay together. Like, that's just who you are.
Same person.
Yeah.
Right.
At least Chip won one as an OC, but Brian Kelly doesn't even have enough time in the day to be an offensive coordinator.
Nope.
When he's a bastard.
Who we got
It's
here?
all right. Oh, no. I missed it. Hunter Hall, call back.
Oh, Hunter.
Oh, gosh.
I'll just call him back.
Hunter's going to tell us that we don't need Lane. This was going to be. He's going to tell us why Lane Kiffin's not the hire.
Look, I don't know if Lane is really the answer there in Baton Rouge.
Look, I've had a good bit of time with
I think
Lane.
you need Saban.
Yeah, no, it's gonna. That's I can feel it.
I can hear it. I can see it. All 6, 7 of them.
Don't ever do that again, Christian. Not on my show. But it's an interesting interesting position that LSU is in, that the country is in, and the way this dynamic is going to work with Kelly. And I agree with Lloyd that I would be surprised if Kelly just lets it close out like this.
I know, but
like
honestly, like Northwestern, you have to really think about why.
Right.
What about that run at LSU makes you think that that's a good fit for us?
Right.
He just tried to put a dog collar around LSU and paraded around in a gimp suit, and we broke out like, no.
But there are some places that'll be like the places that need something. Like, I mean, Wisconsin, they would call. Why wouldn't they? Northwestern, why wouldn't they make the call? Like, what do they have? Like,
Michigan.
No.
I don't know. I mean,
Bryce Underwood would sprint away.
I think the biggest interesting part of this is less of
Florida
who would call and more of
I think Michigan and Florida are kind of in the same boat.
Is he actually in the position where he's going, like where he wants?
Where he's wanted.
Well, not he. No, what does he want it?
No. He just had everything.
I think it's an interesting discussion on both ends.
Brian Kelly.
Talk to us. What you got?
Hunter Hall in Huntsville. Let's see if the internet can handle my call today.
Let's see it.
We got strong internet.
It's Alabama LSU weeks, boys. I assume that you
not
guys
yet.
Are, excited as I am.
It's open date right now.
It's
Hunter.
weeks. It's weeks. It's weeks with an S.
Yes, and we'll get him back.
Breaking news.
Hey.
Hold on, Hunter.
I got some breaking news here. As Joe Sloan has officially been fired as the LSU offensive coordinator, as Hunter Hall begins to speak, Joe Sloan is relieved of his duties as the LSU offensive coordinator.
Oh man!
Can't tell us the show isn't live.
This is a jinx. All right. I don't know if it's a jinx or if hey, y'all ought to start paying me. I mean, my goodness, you want something bad to happen, I'll call.
That's a good thing.
And I'll make it happen. Well, yeah. Hey, I tell you what. Let's go back to week one. Did Dabo call this? I mean, Alabama guy said, "Hey, I'm grading LSU out at a 65."
May
he saw the writing on the wall. Wait, Dabo, ball knower, Alabama guy. Who would have thought? I've been asking for a month now. Does Frank's headset not work? I mean, 2 run plays and a half. His running backs aren't getting the ball ever. And we'll see, I guess, in 2 weeks if his headset's plugged in, eh?
Yep.
There's a windfall of change coming, and
him and Tim Rattay's headset.
Tim Rattay,
that's how you say it. Who is that?
He's what almost won a Heisman at Louisiana Tech, one of the all-time leading passers in Louisiana history.
No, but what's his position on the staff right now?
Staff analyst.
He's an analyst. I believe he will be the play caller moving forward.
Not Hankton?
No, that was reported. Yeah, Tim Rattay.
That's what Scone just put out that Rattay. He was told a Sunday night Rattay would get the nod.
See what happens. You get burned by a couple of sources. You have to dig a little deeper for a couple more.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, here's the thing, though, boy. I'm not gonna miss watching Brian Kelly. The red face didn't show up in purple as much as it did in navy and green at Notre Dame. But whenever anything went wrong, and Saturday a lot of things went wrong, even though y'all had that lead at halftime. I mean, it was always WTF are you doing?
Right.
Third and 10, and you get a 4 yards off a draw play. WTF are you doing, Joe Sloan? And then it's you got 12 men on the field. Tight end goes right up the middle, touchdown. Goes over there to Blake Baker. What the are you doing? Danny Ramos missing an extra point. What are you doing?
That's how you get fired.
Then you get Chadwick over there punting to a world-class punter. What are you doing? Then you take off to another world-class return man, and he goes almost to the crib. And then he says, WTF are you doing? Hey, Brian, what the flip are you doing? Grab a board, grab a marker, show your team what they need to be doing. Coach them up for once. For once, just coach them up, man. Coach them up. Do your job.
You asked if Frank headset was working. I contend was as Brian's working the ability to talk back because it was always reactionary. He's watching like we were watching. He had the best seat in the house.
I mean, you don't think you don't know that those plays aren't going to work before they happen?
Yeah, maybe because he doesn't know what the play is. Let's just call a spade a spade. Well, during his tenure at LSU, he was surprised as anyone to see a play be called. He's like, I wonder what that means. Oh, why would you do that? Like, how do you not know before you throw a pass to the flat on 3rd and 7 with no timeouts that you can't do it? Like, I thought you said you had veto power. You no longer do. But that was your big, like, I do hear the play calls. I'm on the headset. I'm on with the offensive, defensive, special teams. And yes, I do have times in which I can hear a call and veto it, or I will veto it. I have veto power. it's like he doesn't know what that play call means. And thank God it's
He doesn't know what that play call means.
I mean, he's like, oh, that was a stupid.
That's what it
There's
is.
nothing like the armchair quarterback. He's basically watching like one of the like the worst LSU
Media?
fan you know. Like, why would you do that? And it's like, well, I don't know. He's the coach. I assume he knows more than I do.
He's not even a fan though. He's literally just an
No, that's
armchair
what I'm saying. Not even a real fan. That
No.
like you don't criticize everybody every single second. You
Impeached
give it.
his ass.
There's nuance to all of these things. But with Brian, it was, what the fuck was that? And it's like, that's what my drunk uncle does whenever he watches the games. Why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, and he doesn't have the benefit of having the play call in his ear.
Before the plays, I mean, the stand up there in 305 knows is guessing
What's
just
coming?
as much as BK was.
And that's what we had. We had Roe during a watch party. I was calling out plays. He goes, I go, you know what's sad? Is me. I'd watch games.
You know what?
I was like, I know what's going to go. That's the problem, dog. Like, you can't be knowing because they damn sure know. And that's what it was. At the end of the day, it was a lack of institutional control, honestly.
And that's what you brought him in there to restore. And,
Did it-
that's just
did
that's
it for a
his
year.
problem.
He got your ass once.
That's unreal.
Hunter. Can't believe you lost to him.
Wow. Wait, hey, we set you up for this. We set you up for this.
It's a long
play.
We set you guys up for this.
And it'll bite you in the ass when Lane
Hey,
Kiffin's in purple and gold.
Hey, Lane's a loser, man. He's a great offensive coordinator, but he is what he is. I mean,
winner.
You guys know that. You guys know that. Where has Lane ever won? Nowhere.
The hearts of
He's
millions.
been a great offensive coordinator.
Yeah. He's
He's
winning at Alabama. What are you talking about?
He's winning at Ole Miss right now.
He's winning
Not
right now.
not as head coach.
Well, somebody
And
was
then, you know
blocking
what?
him. That was Lane's team.
Hey, then we left him in Dallas in the locker room.
That
Literally.
tends to happen to him a lot. All right. Thank you, Hunter.
Thank you, Hunter.
You know what? Hey, roll Tide.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. But yeah, there was the breaking news during the Hunter Hall call. Shout out to the Gump for calling in.
He's nervous.
Sloan has been fired. And according to Shea Dixon and On3, Alex Atkins will take over as the play caller, which is, I think, what most expected. Obviously, he has offensive coordinator experience, and he called plays for Florida State prior to coming over to LSU. And Shea Dixon is reporting, as well as On3, that Atkins will take over the play calling duties for the remaining 4 games. The second domino has fallen, similar to, what year was it, 2016, when the email was sent out, or the tweet was posted, LSU has fired Les Miles and Cam Cameron. It is now LSU has fired Brian Kelly and Joe Sloan. The head coach and the offensive coordinator / play caller have both been fired over the last 24 hours.
And I hate to run with reports that have been reported about this tenuous meeting between Brian Kelly and how it turned sour very quickly. Was it a protection of Sloan? If so, I mean, obviously he hasn't been doing the best job. But is that where this thing went south? Like, this is all conjecture because we really don't know what happened in those rooms and who people were talking to. But if it was did he want to keep his meat shield of, like, I have to keep Sloan right now so I can fire him in the offseason? Like, what was Brian Kelly's long play here to get into a meeting room where allegedly it wasn't supposed to go this sour this quickly?
I would just be surprised if it was a defense of Sloan, because what I saw publicly on television on Saturday
it's his whipping boy.
Was pretty apparent that they didn't seem like they like each other.
I mean, and that's what's so crazy to me is it was so apparent, right? We called it in week 3.
Yep.
When you see it's you, it's me, it's them, it's that, and then Garrett Nussmeier continued to do the talk to the fucking booth.
Right.
Like, there was never a relationship in which that worked, but Brian Kelly continued to play Nuss when they did. Like, it's like Nuss didn't want to be here anymore. Like, I would be surprised to see him finish out his tenure at LSU. I don't know if he'll play.
Yeah.
Right? If there's no Brian Kelly and no Joe Sloan,
we'll
it's
see.
like
I think it's an interesting. There's a lot of decisions moving forward that are going to be very interesting for this season and for what's to come. Like, I think it's a spot that LSU is in that I don't think many anticipated this to be the situation. Like, I think many anticipated Kelly to be fired at some point, and if it were this season, it would happen after the year. But what it had gotten too bad, obviously, at the position where the spot LSU is. I think people anticipated Sloan being let go possibly during the year, but I don't know if many expected Kelly to that LSU would be in the spot where they are right now. And now they are, and there are a lot of dominoes that will continue to fall. And you've seen, we talked about the drama, the soap opera that had been those three guys. And now two of them are fired, are gone. It was Kelly, Sloan, and Nussmeier. It was a soap opera on display. I believe it was against Ole Miss was the game that we witnessed it for the first time, even though we knew it was a mess. Two of those three names have now since been fired. And so I don't know what the situation's going to be at the quarterback spot. You saw Van Buren get some time and lead a touchdown drive at the end of that game. It's going to be intriguing to see how LSU moves forward, because you aren't really playing for anything this season. That door has essentially closed. Now, some believe that you can maybe get in at 9-3. You would be banking on a lot for that to happen. All in all, you aren't really playing for anything in 2025. And so the conversation will then shift to, okay, so are we planning for the future? And if that's the goal, it comes down to, if you're planning for the future, Nuss is not going to be here next year. Van Buren can be here next year. Hurley can be here next year. No, I think it would be Van Buren. Harlan Berry, okay, like that. There's a lot of conversation. It's going to be very intriguing how LSU moves forward for 2025. Just from the standpoint of, you still got 4 games left on the schedule, and you've got a lot. Like you've had two big dominoes that have fallen. What will follow?
It's two different schools of thought, right? You have the interim come in, and I could see a wholesale change happening of why not play Van Buren and give him at least a game, or certainly see what he looks like. But if you're bringing in another head coach, why would you introduce controversy that's probably going to have a quarterback with him? Because whoever you hire, you probably are looking for somebody that has somebody in tow. You've seen it happen across the country whenever changes are made.
Either in tow or has a plan for what.
Right. And then so if you do play Van Buren, I'm just playing devil's advocate a little bit here.
Course.
If you do play Van Buren and he plays well, now you have which I don't know if quarterback controversy is a good thing or a bad thing, but if you just ride out Nuss, then you don't have that ability to say, oh, man, I really want to see what Van Buren looks like. If he looks good, it's like, oh, do I have to? Now you have this content of court almost, where it's, okay, if he plays well, but I want to bring in my guy, and now, well, he's playing well, but now I kind of want to see, you can have, what's the saying? A one in the hand, or whatever, one in the bush, whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
But you know what I'm trying to get at.
Yes.
But I am interested to see what Van Buren looks like. I mean, at this point, it feels like Nuss needs a break. And for him to be, I understand his father coaches for the Saints and he had sideline passes to go. My contention would be, you just got embarrassed and taken out of the football game, and your first thought is to go, I'll go watch the Saints play.
Right.
Get your fucking ass in the film room. Don't let that be the narrative.
Don't be seen at the Saints game.
Yeah, you're going to actually be out there in public.
Yeah.
It's different if you were to go to your room and watch it on TV and call your daddy later. Don't go on the sidelines and be like, oh, all's good. Like, brother, you just got your ass kicked and benched. And my first thought is going to the Saints game. That's insane.
Yeah, no.
And I've been a Nuss defender.
No, right.
And that is
Yeah.
As offensive.
Well, that is where
but it's almost like he's doing it on purpose.
And that's where, on your point, knowing Frank and the way he represents LSU, and he knows what LSU is, going to the Saints game the day after you get your butt whooped is not that's not LSU. That's what it ain't. I'll tell you that much. And I know, and if I know that, I guarantee you Frank Wilson knows that. So it's going to be very interesting.
To the point that you're late.
Are you surprised though?
No, that's the problem. Like, that really is part of the problem, where it's like, this guy Because he's done up to this point, he had done everything right. Like he was.
Right.
I know
No,
it is.
he played
This
it-
is surprising.
He played it well, but it's just that
he got too much BK in him.
And so
I think, and I really do. Like if I want to look at it objectively, and if I want to give him
the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, it's that he's done, worn out with it. Like I don't want to be.
Well, I wouldn't want to be the quarterback in
Brian
that
Kelly ruined
situation
LSU
either.
for somebody
Right.
that loved LSU. That's a point in case. He stuck around. He wanted to be here. He wanted to be your starting quarterback. And at the end of the day, you rubbed it so raw. He's like, I don't want to fuck anymore. Like, I am out of this situation. You made me hate something that I love to the point where I'll leave the night of. That's insane to me.
This bug he put in LSU, you're going to see it for years to
No,
come.
I mean, that's the best thing about the portal.
That's why
you cut the head off the snake.
Yeah.
Like
That's why you have
the
to make the
dancing
move.
around.
But
because look at and
this bug will.
The example I'll give you is Texas A&M. They are not Texas A&M that they were with Jimbo.
And it
Jimbo
took
did
a
a similar
year.
Yeah.
a similar type of damage, and that's what can happen in this new era, and that's where I wanted to push back a little bit with Roe yesterday. Is it's going to be tough, and it's going to be hundreds of millions of dollars.
It ain't my money.
That you can cut you cut the head of the snake off, and you can turn this thing around quick. So, but Kimberly in the chat, which I believe is Cajun Curveball. I know they have it, but what I'm telling you is that LSU is not paying that man $50 million. The title of they're negotiating the buyout means LSU is not paying Brian Kelly $50 million. And the thing that I will be on the lookout for, the next dominoes, as obviously Sloan gets fired, the dominoes are who LSU hires as their president. And from what I've heard, I would be on the lookout for McNeese's current president, Wade Roos. I would be on the lookout for that sounds like, from what I've heard, seems to be the direction it's moving. And with that, dominoes will continue to fall, because once you hire a president, that will turn into the AD and there's a lot of things that happen after this. The fact that this president job is open, that is the name that I have heard, is the McNeese president, Wade Roos, and we shall see how those dominoes continue to fall. But when you have the governor obviously very much in the mix, he chooses the board of supervisors, like I laid it out. He chooses the board of supervisors. They choose the president, AD, head football coach. It's all in line. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for those dominoes to continue to fall. I think one of the biggest things right now, that is a future move. That is looking, the president hire is for what's to come for LSU. Right now, LSU's got 4 games left. They've got Alabama in 2 weeks. They've got Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and then Oklahoma to close out the season. Oklahoma obviously has not looked as good as they started the year. Arkansas can score a lot of points, but they're still not that good of a football program right now. Western Kentucky is your win that'll get you into a bowl game. And then you have, obviously, the big game against top 5 Alabama coming up soon. So I'm very intrigued to see what it's going to look like moving forward just this season, and the way the energy around the program and the building and what it looks like with Frank Wilson at the helm, because I do think there is a dynamic shift going on right now. When you go from a coach that's obviously checked out and has never really been checked in to a guy like Frank Wilson who, like Cauble said in his clip, knows every player's name and knows probably every player's parents' names because of who he is and what he does. There's probably not a coach that is more bought in than Frank Wilson on the team as a whole, because in recruiting, that's who you are. And he's LSU's recruiting coordinator. He is LSU football recruiting. In that clip that Lloyd played, there's not 2 guys that I trust more in the current state of where LSU is than Frank Wilson and Austin Thomas, and that's who the program is in their hands right now. And I'm excited to see what it looks like moving forward. But I will say, sitting right here, it is a good day for LSU football where they're at right now. As much as it's a tall task that's ahead of them, and it's an expensive task that's in front of them, having to pay that buyout, which are not, like I said, not paying $50, but they're still paying millions. of that buyout. You got to hire the next one. You got to make all this. It's an expensive task ahead of LSU.
And I'll take that to the graves.
Take that to the grave. Good one.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out. Box combo right here in front of me. It's an expensive task, but today is a good day for LSU football because you are at least moving in a direction that can build your program back in a sense. Because what had happened to this program, especially this season, was the detriment of LSU football, and it had to come to a halt.
Domestic terrorism.
It had to come. Okay, maybe don't use any hot words in the microphone, please. We'll get banned.
Domestic terrorism.
This is the detriment of your program. This is what had happened to LSU football. Those are Aggies
In your student section.
taking over LSU student section.
Cheering for LSU. Don't do it with them, no.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And that
Can never happen
can
again.
never happen again.
They're going to regret that.
Because that is
They're already regretting it.
that is
they're
the
gonna regret
blatant
that.
disrespect that Brian Kelly had
allowed,
deemed possible to LSU. Because I'll bring the Lamine Barrow quote back up. What did Lamine say? When you played LSU, you either got beat or you got beat up. And you know what number Lamine wore after
18.
57? That's 18. And when you play LSU, you either get beat or you get beat up. That was not the case this season.
Oh.
I'm about to go back home, drop
A deuce.
150 on A&M's head on College Football 26.
But this is I don't know how well read everybody is, but it's a good tale. It's a great tale. This is the good old-fashioned case of Icarus. A&M may have just flown too close to the sun. And I get it. For the first time ever, you get the chance to dance with the devil, and you outdanced him.
Right.
But devil's got more than one life, and you may have done just enough to shake those bones all back together, and he'll come play the fiddle again.
Right.
Because there's not a soul alive if you have LSU in you that lets this ever happen.
Nope.
If you would have won with a little touch of class and had left, and you didn't embarrass LSU the way that you did, and embarrass the people that have the money to be able to do this, because they thought, lest we forget, poor old LSU, it don't matter. They're not getting rid of BK. Fuck you. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Like, enough. You can't. So this is A&M. Thank you. Thank you.
No, I mean,
because if you don't do it like that, the tides of change move slowly. Instead, you embarrass the program, you embarrass the state to the point where you say, there's one problem, we know how to fix it, we're going to do it tonight. And that's what was done. Thank you.
It had to happen because that is just – and this is the thing. I've seen – this is my third A&M game that I've been to in Tiger Stadium where the head coach's head was on the chopping block or had already been fired. What was it, 2015 when Les gets carried off field? You know who they beat that night?
A&M.
It was Texas A&M. 2021, O had already been fired. The final game of the year. And guess who LSU beat?
A&M.
Texas A&M. What they couldn't do this Saturday, and this shows you how far it's fallen, is they couldn't do that. They couldn't do what LSU has always done, and that's beat Texas A&M in Tiger Stadium in Death Valley. Because it has been completely altered. And you can blame it on NIL and this, that. No. Because what I saw from Vanderbilt and what I've seen from Texas A&M is even with all of those things involved, transfer portal, NIL, and money and this, they were still able to build a program and field a team that cared and had the right mindset. And those things are a reflection of the guys in charge. Clark Lee and Mike Elko, congratulations to you guys. You've built a program. Lloyd.
Yes.
Brian Kelly.
No.
Had done the opposite of what Clark Lee and Mike Elko have done. Quite literally the opposite. You've seen in back-to-back weeks, Clark Lee and Mike Elko have taken programs that at times were the laughingstock of the SEC. Vanderbilt was the doormat. A&M was 8-4. They were the butt of jokes consistently. They have turned those programs into impressive programs that can handle business against LSU. The same thing Elko and Lee have done at those two schools, BK has done the opposite at LSU. They have built them up. Brian Kelly has broken this place down, and that is why it had to be done. He had to be gone. And it's over. The war is over. Brian Kelly is gone. Kelly and Sloan both fired in the last 24 hours. Frank Wilson will step up as the interim head football coach. Alex Atkins will call plays via Shea Dixon. And moving forward, in my opinion, it's a one-man search right now. It's a one-man list. They're going all in after Lane Kiffin. And I think that's really the thing that tells me that more than anything is the timing. And I know there were a lot of other things at play, but like you said, Lloyd, you got to be proactive.
Finally, LSU has never been
done it. You've got to be proactive and not
reactive.
Miss your shot. Can't miss your shot.
How insane is it? And this is big brain theory for Moffitt to put the board of supervisors. I mean Moffitt for Woodward to put the board of supervisors out there on that field that night. Like, he almost fell on his own sword in front of him. He's like, I'll commit public suicide to make sure that they know the temperature in this stadium is not great, even when you were up.
Right.
And there's like, who? Everybody that's like, oh, no. I don't want to see any of these people. And now if you did it today, they'd get a standing ovation.
Right. Not only put them out there as a group, you could have just said, this is the LSU Board of Supervisors. It was like, no, this is this person, this is their name. It went through the
They're involved in picking the new president. Ew.
So.
But that, the only thing that, the saving grace of that night is not only A&M's behavior that was, good for you, we'll see you again. The LSU effort, whenever all things were okay at that point in the night for the LSU baseball team to go on with LSU had a lead. And I was like, thank God they also got this too, because there's been temperatures whenever you put a fan base that should be able to cheer for somebody that won a national championship or had performed well. And if LSU football isn't playing well, it's like, I don't want to go out there.
Right.
And LSU at that point was winning. I think they had just come up with a stop. I think they had just blocked the punt and then got the 3 and out. But it was still, the temperature was like, we were good.
Right.
And then Jay Johnson comes out there and the whole squad, you're like, oh.
It was the loudest the place was.
It was. And I've never bowed harder. I don't know how they didn't play the fight song. But that's okay. It was a little mismanaged, but that's all right. You can't really ruin that moment.
It's the state of the program right now.
Yeah.
Getting that right.
We'll figure that. Look, that whatever, all that's going to get corrected.
Yeah.
That's correctable.
Figuring that out. Fixable. A word I've heard a lot. Figuring that out. So, what are you looking at over there?
YouTube went away.
Oh, nice. But yeah, man, I tell you what, it's a good day for LSU football, all in all. As much as, like I said, it's a tall task in front.
Wait, they're ChatGPTing the chat.
What do you mean?
I don't want that.
What do you mean?
They just gave me a chat summary of the chat.
Nice.
Bro.
I've read it. I don't need a summation. I appreciate everybody being here.
Yeah, no, we appreciate everybody tuning in this morning.
I could do this for all. I mean, I have to do it again later.
Keep this
but
thing rolling. No, yeah, you do have to do the same show again tonight. But no, we appreciate all of you.
Carl, I understand what you're saying. If you have some reservations about Lane and he will use LSU, we just got used, brother.
Yeah,
it can't get worse than that. I've never been bent over like that ever, and I didn't like one single inch of it.
We were getting a train ran on us, dude. The other teams were getting a part of this.
Yeah, he let anybody walk through the front door.
It was disgusting. God.
I have regret, and I didn't even want it. I didn't sign up for this.
Right. Bro, we
never
smell
did.
like we smell after. We were getting peed on. R. Kelly was owning us.
Drip, drip, drip.
Bro, R. Kelly was our head coach. R. Kelly, yeah, that's perfect. His last name's Kelly. R. Kelly was our head coach, dude.
B. R. Kelly.
God.
And the crazy thing is we haven't even talked about the football game at all.
Don't need to.
We don't want to. There's no point.
The football game was we said this, and there's one of two worlds to live in. LSU continues to fight, which you got a half of.
You got a half of.
And then the other world in which is you get embarrassed, and how long do you let this go on? And thank God. That's the best loss LSU's ever had.
And that was what I saw in the second half was a a complete indictment on Kelly was the second that team got punched in the mouth, and A&M goes down and scores. Then you go 3 and out, and now they're up 10. The second that you got punched, you're done. There was no, because what was LSU used to be what? Get punched, punch back, harder.
Or punch first.
And LSU punched in the first half, but when they got punched in the mouth in the second half, there was no.
I guarantee you LSU wins the coin toss against Alabama.
That would be
the perfect.
Oh my gosh, it would be
cherry
the perfect
on
picture.
top.
Who are the captains for that game?
How would I know that right now?
No,
I mean, you have permanent captains.
No, I know. I'm saying, like, who do you put out as the captains for that game? You can't roll with the same guys.
Witt, for sure.
Yeah.
He might come back. Play for his stepdad.
Play for his father-in-law.
Yeah. Father-in-law, yeah.
Not stepdad.
I don't know how that shit works.
But yeah, bada bing, bada boom. The punt return was the final blow. When that guy returned the punt, it was a.
Did you feel that punt return coming? Because I called it. I said it right before. I go, they're gonna take this back. Sure enough, it happened. Anyway, Lloyd, did you feel the same kind of energy flowing through that stadium?
Yeah, I didn't even, and I blame myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was in my seat and I had this ick.
Yeah.
And so I didn't stand up, and I watched it on the scoreboard. I was like, I don't know if I want to watch. And I don't know why I did that, because then I blamed myself for not watching with my two-bot, on the field. But I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to like what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And that happens, and that's what I need to get rid of, is that knowing what's coming under that regime was very palpable.
Right. No, when
the other shoe was going to drop in that game at some point.
When A&M
I just didn't know you were going to tumble down the stairs.
When A&M
thank
scored
God.
that touchdown, and then it was a 3 and out right after. It was only trouble was had. Now I didn't anticipate.
You know what rolls downhill? Shit.
That's what the LSU program had turned into.
Thank God. If it's only one.
And once again, I will give credit to the players as much as the execution needs to be better in spots. The fact that you can still go suit up for a guy that's that visibly checked out. The fact that you can listen to a coach spew what he spews and still go out there and suit up.
And blame you.
Credit to the guys in the uniform. Because
Nuss wore on his sleeve, brother.
Right.
No,
and that's what and that's why that the crumble in the second half is an indictment on Kelly and not the players, is because when I get punched in the mouth like that, why am I going to go out and fight harder for a guy on the sideline that doesn't care, and all he's doing is cursing and MF and everyone on the sideline. That's all he's doing. Is when you get a punt block earlier in the game, but now there's a punt return, I'm going to go
this
MF
is how you lose your job.
The special teams coordinator. There
Great day to be alive, sir.
What a day, huh, Charles? Feeling good?
It's been crazy. I mean, I don't know about good, but it's been a crazy 48 hours.
It has been. That's for sure. Shout out to Southern Regional Medical Center. Our guy Charles Harvey just slid into the studio, sitting next to Christian this morning.
You want the mic? You don't want it? You hot?
But it's been quite the 48 hours, like Charles said. It's been a almost
Panda
like
watch.
It's been crazy.
Have you ever seen the media camped out in the trees for 24 hours?
Literally saw that they were camped out to watch Brian Kelly leave his
5 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, he got there at 4:45 this morning.
And he thought for sure they won't be out here. I finally can do this is when I leave. They won't expect me to be out here this early.
No, not at all.
It's like the door works here at this
He's probably
time?
drunk.
That would be nice. Sleuthing around.
There you go. What a
I guess
what
you
a
can say whatever
48
you want
hours.
about him now.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Statute of limitations.
Yeah,
are
who's
over.
going to stop you?
Yeah, not me.
Real estate agent's house.
So we got to go shopping again.
But we appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us here on this beautiful Monday morning, as it's going to be quite the week, quite the 2 weeks, as it's a bye week this week, getting ready for Alabama under the control of interim head football coach Frank Wilson, as he's taken over. Alex Atkins, play caller, as him and Sloan are both out this morning. Kelly fired last night. Sloan fired this morning. We will see you once again tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Like Brian Burgess says, you all have an awesome rest of your Monday. Same to you. It's a beautiful day here in Tigerland. We will see you tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m.
Or later tonight.
Go Tigers.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6
to 8 p.m.
Mic'd up. Shout out Southern Region Medical Center.